Hi, I'm J.T. Spence. I'm a member of the Cincinnatus Association, and I'm hoping that you'll watch this video to learn more about Cincinnatus, what we do, who we are, and what we've done, and what we're hoping to do in the future. I think if we have a short discussion about Cincinnatus, you can learn a lot about us and see if we're an organization that you'd be pleased to be a part of. That's good for you. Cincinnatus is a reform movement. It grew out of the late 1800s, an effort to try to have the community come together and through democratic dialogue discuss the issues of the day facing Cincinnati as a community. If we go back and look at the late 1800s, we're looking at a period of heavy industrialization. We're also looking at a period of heavy immigration. So our cities in the United States were growing very rapidly and industrializing. As a result of that, there were many issues that communities at that time faced, including pollution, inequitable work relationships, housing problems, and health issues related to both the industrialization and the lack of infrastructure in the city. The progressive movement in America grew out of a desire to deal with those issues through scientific methods, the application of what was called then modern systems to deal with issues. And so studies were undertaken all over the United States on how to improve urban life. Cincinnatus grew out of that progressive period, although primarily as a result of a response to the politics of the day, which was very slow to recognize and deal with the problems that I've identified earlier with urban growth. So, yeah, if you can cut that. Progressives got frustrated at the slow pace or no pace of change regarding the many issues facing urban life. And primarily this was because Cincinnati, as many American cities of the time were, run by organizations really dedicated to just accumulating political power. We call this time in American urban history the boss system. Mayor had complete power over city government, supported by an organization that was corrupt, that would control voting precincts, accept money for bribes, and adopt public policies that helped their friends and hurt their enemies. And as a result, very little of what the progressives were arguing needed to be done in our urban environments were addressed. Out of this conflict was born the Cincinnatus Association, a group of primarily young business professionals, highly educated for the time, who agreed that change needed to come more rapidly and that they could potentially be the spearhead for that change. We really celebrate Victor Heinz, a local attorney and business person, for bringing that idea and to the table and assembling a small group of these future leaders of Cincinnati, who then made a commitment to progressive ideals and to changing, in particular, the form of government we had, to make it more democratic so that it spoke for the people of Cincinnati, not just special interests. So in 1920, Cincinnatus Association was founded primarily to push progressive ideals of good governance and to implement a good government program called the council manager form of government, which Cincinnati still has today. Interestingly enough, Cincinnatus derived its name from the ideals of the good citizen. And this is the story of the Roman general Cincinnatus, who Rome was threatened by a barbarian invasion, and several Roman armies had already been destroyed. a former general was approached by the Roman Senate and asked to lead the Roman army. And he agreed to do so. And he was given dictatorial powers. Cincinnatus was his name, and after he quelled the barbarian invasion, he returned to Rome and gave back to the Senate the dictatorial powers that he had been bequeathed. And he went back to being a farmer. This is the ideal of the good citizen, and is the basis for George Washington's Cincinnatus Society, which was formed after the Revolutionary War based on this story of Cincinnatus. And I think this story is important because it exemplifies the ideal of the good citizen and what they can do to help their community and their fellow citizens and improve the quality of life of the community they live in. And the Cincinnatus Association, that is what their dedicated mission is.